haven't had the opportunity to properly calibrate the audio, but it looks as if we're okay. We can do another check for those who are monitoring us on Facebook Live. Okay, I think we're good. The audio is good there, and now we need to spread it around to the other Facebook Live platforms. It's all about engaging, connecting, and ensuring that you, our faithful listeners and viewers at home and abroad, have choices to participate in the program. After all, it is your program, both sides of the story, here on Power 106 FM. Hello to Sandra Forrester. She was saying no sound. I wonder if she's still saying that. Let's see. Maybe not. I suspect not. Because, yeah, let's see. Let's see. Let's just make sure that everybody is on board, listening and watching. Here we go. Let's click on this one. Yeah. So YouTube up and running. Sorry about that. We forgot to flip the switch or flick the switch in order to give you the audio feed. Thank you for your patience in that regard. Thank you, Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida, as well, for your understanding. So spread the word. We just flicked the switch for the audio on YouTube. So you're up and running on YouTube right now. How about that? Right. Thank you very much. In the meantime, let's say hello to those who have joined us, apart from the others who have joined us, apart from Sandra Forrester and Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida. Let's see. Let's do this and ensure. There we go. Good afternoon to Marcia Erskine. And hello to Dr. Terry Carell. I just saw a reminder on Facebook of where I was or where we were on this day some years ago. This was the, I think it was the Tourism Service Excellence Awards, Terry Carell, which we were co-hosting. That was the reminder I saw a while ago. I was trying to retrieve it, but you know how these devices are. The pop-ups come and go, and then you have to try to find them. Angela in Toronto, Canada, good afternoon to you. Kareen Evans, good afternoon. David Allen says the solution to lower the murder rate in Jamaica is to find a prime minister who has the ability and talent to motivate the Jamaican citizens to unite and scorn and fight against all gunmen across the island. Thank you very much for your suggestion, David Allen, on Facebook Live. Leadership is important. Leadership is indeed critical in some respects. In fact, in all respects, quite frankly. And as we always say on this program, quoting the great management guru, Peter Drucker, those who seek to lead but fail to manage will become either irrelevant or dangerous, not only to their organization, but to society. And we also like to say on this program, there's only one way to lead, and that is by example. Thank you, David Allen, for your message. Sandra Gibson is online as well. She's in Florida. Good afternoon to you too, Sandra Gibson. She says, great day to be alive, isn't it? Or as our friends from the UK would say, N it. N it. Is it the UK or the USA or both? N it. Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida says sound is gone. The sound is okay now, Albert. Herman Hyatt on YouTube is confirming up and running. I think I maybe need to stop relying on my memory and just have my action sheet when I come into the studio, just to ensure that I don't forget to flick any switch, flick any of the or turn any of the buttons. Right, I need to give myself that reminder, so that you don't come in belatedly. Sorry about that. Audrey Smith said part of it too is that I am a technical minded person, and there are other situations and solutions we're trying to onboard in order to enhance the broadcast and the connections that we have to make. So I usually take a keen interest in that, as opposed to just being the talent who comes in and does the show and has nothing to do with the technical aspect of it, because there is that as well. But thank God for the program assistance. It's not lonely in the studios. Otherwise, we'll be, yeah. So Audrey Smith says, good afternoon, Dervan. Happy Thursday to you and all the listeners tuning in from Southampton. Welcome, Audrey Smith in Southampton. Jacqueline Simmons says, good afternoon. Blessings to you too, Jacqueline Simmons. Golden Brown says, bless up, teacher. Bless up to you, Golden Brown. Renee Beckley in Michigan says, good afternoon, Dervan. Just heard that Bunny Wailer passed away. My condolences to his family. We join you in conveying condolences to the family, friends, colleagues, fans of the late Bunny Wailer. Renee says, Georgie, no woman, no cry. Is he still alive? Georgie, no woman, no cry. Oh, you mean Georgie, who used to cook cornmeal porridge? I don't know, but that's in Bob Marley's song. I don't know. We could check if anybody knows Georgie, who used to cook the cornmeal porridge with Bob Marley. One moment, please. So go on and give.
You're listening to Powerr 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
The Jamaica Single Window for Trade, J-Swift, is moving to make cross-border trading easier for imports and exports. Effective March 1, 2021, all importers of plant and plant products must use the J-Swift online platform to apply for their import permits from the Plant Quarantine and Produce Inspection Branch at the Ministry of Agriculture. J-Swift will improve accessibility to cross-border trade services, reduce paper-based and manual transactions, reduce processing time, and accelerate the release of commodities. Jamaica's Single Window for Trade, bridging the gap, opening your window to trade.
Hey, you see, these days, it's good to get straight to the point, quick and easy. That's why Western Union gives you another way to receive money straight to your bank account with Western Union's direct-to-bank money transfer. Visit a Western Union agent location and sign up now and tell your family and friends to send your next Western Union money transfer directly to your bank account in Jamaica. It's easy. Visit a Western Union location or call our call center at 876-926-2454. Sign up today to receive a money transfer directly to your bank account with ease. With Western Union, moving money for better.
The RJR Gleaner Communications Group Special Women's Day book celebrating 60 distinguished Jamaican women. Available now. Purchase your copy today at the Gleaner Library, 7 North Street in Kingston, the Gleaner Western Bureau, 23 Orange Street, Montego Bay, and the RJR Gleaner Gift Shop at 32 Lyndhurst Road. And with every purchase of 3 or more copies at the Gleaner Library, you have a chance to win 6-month subscription to the Gleaner Premium. Jamaican women of distinction, holding up more than half the sky.
Your appointment Saturday night party continues, and this Saturday, March 6th, Pain Frequency goes global, featuring a cosmopolitan mix of the biggest tunes from across the planet. We'll be clubbing from 9 to midnight with King Tash, DJ Kevin, DJ Roderick, and DJ Xavier. It's Pain Frequency, hosted by Talia, live on Pain 95, It's 92, RETV cable channel, and One Spot Media. Let's go clubbing in our VIP Zoom area and across all our social media platforms. Pain Frequency. This Saturday, Pain Frequency goes global, and it's powered by Smirnoff Smash. How do you smash? Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas on Power 106 FM is now 1 hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday. 1 hour of solid advice, great interaction, and a belly full of laughs. That's Dear Pastor, now 1 power-packed hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday, here on Power 106 FM. MIIC Live during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm is brought to you by Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce.
Life is the more you're gonna get from life. So go on and give. Don't count the cost. And the less you give to life is the less you're gonna get from life. So save all you do, and your soul might be lost, lost. You see, the more you give to life is the more you're gonna get from life. So go on and give. Don't count the cost. And the less you give to life is the less you're gonna get from life. So save all your dough, and your soul might be lost, lost. You gotta give if you got. To those who have not, you gotta give if you got. To those who have not asking you to stop, you gotta give, you gotta.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program. Both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And as we indicated, we are delighted to join Black River High School in continuing their celebrations, their 50th anniversary celebrations. And we're going to first of all say hello and welcome to Vice Chair of the Board of Black River High School, Mrs. Andrea Reed. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon. I am very well, thank you, and I hope you are too. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to be a part of this experience. Can you give us a sense of how, as a team, how, as a management team, you've been able to, as they say, keep the lights on, considering COVID-19 and all, the extent to which you've been able to operate in relatively normal conditions at Black River High School during this time of COVID-19?
All right, well, I must say that we have been able to keep the doors open, keep the instruction, the delivery of teaching and learning to students continued, largely due to the efforts of the principal and the rest of the team, the administration at the school, as well as the teachers. They have shown quite a high level of commitment to staying in touch with the students, because as you know, some students may not be so easy to reach during this time. Some students take it as a holiday if they don't need to come to school. But I think the staff at the school have done quite a good job in reaching out, going around to check on students, etc. And they have also established a good schedule in terms of ensuring that the classes are covered as per the schedule. So it's hats off to the administration and the teachers at the school.
Can you give us an idea of the extent of retrofitting and reinforcing your safety and the infection prevention and control measures at Black River High School and the implications for your budget?
Whoa, okay, that's a big question you're asking me. But let me just say that the school, like most other schools, I imagine, has taken the steps to be in full compliance with the preventions and the precautions that are laid out by the ministry. And in some cases, I believe we have exceeded them. So if you go down to the school, you would see hand washing stations, sanitizing stations. There are signs there that remind persons that they have to stay, the required 6 feet apart, etc. As far as the impact on the budget is concerned, I would leave that to the principal to speak on. But I don't think we have put the school in bankruptcy because of it. But certainly we have done our best to comply with all the guidelines set out by the Ministry of Health and Education.
And what can you tell us about the ways in which you have sought to assist as best as you can your students, especially from a welfare point of view, considering that a lot of them would have been dependent on whether the school feeding or some other kind of support. Their parents and guardians, perhaps some of them not working, etc. I'm just wondering the extent to which the school itself has been able to afford to assist in any way at all with respect to the feeding of the children, for example. I know there are some institutions that have engaged in that kind of activity, so that's why I'm asking whether you have had to do any of that in terms of outreach students and their parents who maybe are having it hard. Any such reports?
Yes, I believe we have done something. The details, though, I will leave it to the principal to elaborate on that. Yes. But as I said before, we did have a program, and I believe it is still ongoing, to reach out to the students who we were not in touch with. So that was a very deliberate and intentional program spearheaded by the administration. I've actually seen them on the road in the school bus as they have traveled around to the communities to look for the children. So I am confident that there is adequate support is to assist students who need some assistance. The details, as I said, though, I will leave that to the principal to elaborate on.
Yeah, understandably so. And for you personally, as vice chair of the board of Black River High School, what kind of emotions are going through your vein as the school celebrates and continues to celebrate 50 years? What does this institution mean to you from where you sit as vice chair, Mrs. Reed?
All right, well, I can say that I have been associated with the school since around 2014 when I came to live in St. Elizabeth. And myself, like a few of the other board members, we are appointed by our church. The school is one of those that is run by the Anglican Diocese of Jamaica. So our bishop asked us to be a part of the school, and with that kind of mandate, and I guess with our general bent towards looking out for the children and wanting the best, it is really with a great sense of pride that 7 years later I'm still a part of the board, and so many of our members also are long-standing members. And we have seen the school through different phases since we got there in 2014 until now. And without going into the details of that, I can say that I think we are in a much better place now in 2021 than when we started in 2014. So I think we have accomplished a lot. And when the school grow from strength to strength, and we are proud to be associated with the school. and continue to give our best efforts really to help to manage and to guide the school.
And at the end of it all, whatever that end is, whether in terms of moving on from the institution or otherwise, what is your hope for Black River High School going forward?
In a nutshell, I would have to say that I would love to see the school return to the level of academic excellence that I understand that it used to enjoy some years ago, even before we came on board. In years past, it was one of the flagship high schools, the newer high schools. That was a flagship in terms of its academic standing. Those have varied over the years due to different reasons. But I do believe that the school has a potential in terms of its management, its staff, the dedication of the teachers and the principal, the administrations in general, and the board to return to those levels of academic glory. So that is what I would hope for, because as much as the school is to give children well-rounded experiences and education, the academics is paramount among those. So we're hoping for the school to move up the ranks in terms of its academic standing in the not too far distant future.
We look forward to that. We thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us here on both sides of the story. Powerr 106 FM. Mrs. Reed, I beg your pardon. Thank you so much for the work that you and the other members of the board have been doing in keeping the flag of Black River High School flying. All the best.
All right. Thank you so much, and all the best to you too.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. We'll be back in just a moment.
The less you give to life is the less you're gonna get from life.
Win more money with Lucky Play Lotteries. Play Big Pot, Super 5, and Dream 6 today. The time by Lucky Play Lottery is
2:45.
The Jamaica Single Window for Trade, J-Swift, is moving to make cross-border trading easier for imports and exports. Effective March 1, 2021, all importers of plant and plant products must use the J-Swift online platform to apply for their import permits from the Plant Quarantine and Produce Inspection Branch at the Ministry of Agriculture. J-Swift will improve accessibility to cross-border trade services, reduce paper-based and manual transactions, reduce processing time, and accelerate the release of commodities. Jamaica's Single Window for Trade, bridging the gap, opening your window to trade.
The February 5 off 50 sales event at Home and Things is here. Take $5 off every $50 you spend. Save big on the brands you know and trust. From beautiful Spanish and Brazilian tiles to exquisite bathroom fixtures from Sedosa, American Standard and Corona. Stylish Moen and American Standard faucets. Doors, windows, paints, and home decor treasures that inspires beauty and elegance. It's the February 5 off 50 sales event happening now at Home and Things. Old Hope Road and Constant Spring Road. Catch it while it lasts.
The new JPS app, let's go! You meet the RP and you build from a phone. The JPS app can do that. Track your energy while let the panic go on a roll. The JPS app can do that. Report outages, any issues, just let us know. The JPS app can do that. Anywhere you everything you need, convenience on the go. Everything about like at your fingertips. The JPS app can do that. Download the new JPS app today. Available in Google Play Store and Apple Store. The JPS app can do that.
Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during both sides of the story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
Your appointment Saturday night party continues, and this Saturday, March 6th, featuring a cosmopolitan mix of the biggest tunes from across the planet. We'll be clubbing from night to midnight with King Tash, DJ Kevin, DJ Roderick, and DJ Xavier. It's Fame Frequency, hosted by Talia, live on Fame 95, Hits 92, RETV Cable Channel, and One Spot Media. Let's go clubbing in our VIP Zoom area and across all our social media platforms. Hashtag Fame Frequency. This Saturday, Fame Frequency goes global, and it's powered by Smirnoff Smash. How do you smash? Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
To fix the car, no humble man to spread the tar. If every man should be on top, now tell me what the hell could stop every.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Powerr 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on YouTube, on the Dervan Malcolm YouTube channel, live, as we said, on Facebook, again on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page and affiliated pages, live on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9, from Moran Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Powerr 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. We're delighted to join the Black River High School family this afternoon in continuing the 50th anniversary celebrations. And in keeping with that approach, we're delighted to have joining us the principal of Black River High School, Mr. Christopher Romans. Good afternoon to you. How are you?
Good afternoon to you and to your listeners, particularly members of staff. I'm doing well.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us here on Both Sides of the Story, Powerr 106 FM. We are anxious to learn from you, Principal Christopher Romans, how, as an institution, you've been able to so mold, shape, and direct your students that they can, in fact, become productive contributors, not just to the Jamaican society, but the global environment.
Well, it certainly have to do with the structure of the curriculum. It has to do with the directive given by the school board, led by Mr. Vincent Guthrie. As was mentioned before, we do operate under the umbrella of the Anglican Church and the Educational Department. And that in itself would have crafted for us a rather holistic view of education, preparing the moral, the spiritual, and the person, and the educational person. So with that in mind, we have structured programs in-house that treat with both. One, in terms of the spiritual aspect that is ingrained in the program, programs such as Step in the Future is one such program that molds students throughout the year. For grade, this one is focused on grade 11, but there are other programs that run right across the year group 7, 8, and 9, school-wide positive intervention program that promotes positive behavior. That's something that we have going for us, and I think we're doing it very well. As it relates to leadership and advocacy, we have going, as in most schools, a strong leadership arm at each level, and that in itself prepare students to operate not just beyond the gates. They learn to lead, they learn to inspire others, and they can be global citizens. That's our view. Additionally, we are establishing a very rigorous academic program where we try and demand from students certain standards, and our committed teachers also to deliver the same. if we can hold students accountable for their learning, and teachers are committed to the learning of students, then we will achieve so much and beyond our wildest dream. I know it has been mentioned before that we have, over the years, have experienced different successes. But I do believe that we are now on a path where we are seeing incremental growth. I know the matter of COVID may have stunted some of our plans, but we have seen over the past 2 years an improved commitment from the part of the students based on some of the things that we have put in place. We have modified our requirement for graduation. We have modified our prize giving and other academic recognition for students that encourage students to participate. We have put in place a recognition ceremony for teachers who have achieved between 90 to 100% pass, and the kind of recognition you have seen, we have witnessed is an improved impetus from teachers to perform. And for example, in the summer, there were no issues with COVID, and during the summer, many of our teachers were here doing SBAs with our students, those who were willing to turn out to ensure that despite the downside of the pandemic, they made themselves available to ensure that the students would are able to fulfill these academic requirements. So our teachers are willing to go beyond the call of duty to ensure that we see this level of academic performance that is required. Well, we recognize we have grounds to cover, and we have to constantly look at what we are doing in terms of our program, in terms of our delivery of the academics, to see how on a daily or on a weekly basis, or on a yearly basis, what can we do to improve whatever the performances really was the last time. But focusing on accountability, focusing on professional development among our staff, these are some of the things that will certainly cause us to produce the kind of quality students that we can say are world class, and yes, they are world class students.
Yes. Sounds like a lot of work, and I'm anxious to get a sense of the buy-in from the students. It sounds as if you have the buy-in automatically, or based on the leadership, the support of the teachers and other members of the administrative, ancillary, etc. But in terms of the students themselves, how encouraged are you? What are the signs that you have been seeing to give you that sense of pride and encouragement that they are in fact making strides and adhering to instruction?
Well, I would be lying if we that we don't have our complaints and the things that we pull out our hair out for on a daily basis. Generally, I can say we have a good bunch of students. There are challenges. We would have hoped that many were more motivated. We would have hoped for greater parental involvement. But what I find is, as you raise the expectation, as you try to hold them accountable, you will see a greater level of they're encouraged. As they say, students will revel in disorder, but they crave order. So my staff and I try to create the order. We try to establish the opportunities for them to perform. And we know over time that when we see the results, there are years of disappointment still, but we are encouraged by our performance from CSET at the CSET level and CAPE level. even now. But that is the basis on which we can judge. But there is really much more that we would want to see our students doing and our parents doing, even within this COVID period. We have realized that it shows up the deficiencies in terms of the involvement of many of our parents, where our teachers will go all out to prepare lessons to ensure that they access. But you find that the kind of leadership and the management that needs to come from the home sometimes is just not there.
Where are you on your priority list? Actually, you would have had and set up some priorities to achieve within certain periods of time at Black River High School. What would you regard as the most pressing priorities or the priorities of focus at this time?
Well, the priorities of focus go across different areas. If we speak about management, the focus is to have a very cohesive and competent leadership and management and very involved management of the school. That is one. That's one of the priority that we have set out. And the priority is the quality of the plant, the quality of the lab, the learning space. We hope to, over time, and even in the short term, we are improving the quality of the infrastructure. The board, we have had a number of successful projects. Before I came on, I know we had the entrance project and a number of other projects. Since I've been here, we have managed to complete two classrooms.
Sorry, can you tell us some more after the break, please?
Okay.
We're speaking with the principal of Black River High School, Mr. Christopher Romans. He has been giving us an update on developments at the school and the ways in which the administration has been doing its best to ensure that it continues to turn out men and women of purpose, young ladies and gentlemen, world-class ladies and gentlemen of purpose to serve Jamaica and indeed the world. One moment, please.
You're listening to Powerr 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock. The new JPS app, let's go! You meet to RP, you build from a phone. The JPS app can do that. Track your energy while let the panic go on a roll. The JPS app can do that. Report outages, any issues, just let us know. The JPS app can do that. Anywhere you're there, track your energy, everything you need. Convenience on the go. Everything about your life at your fingertips. The JPS app can do that. Download the new JPS app today. Available in Google Play Store and Apple Store. The JPS app can do that.
Your appointment Saturday night party continues, and this Saturday, March 6th, Pain Frequency goes global, featuring a cosmopolitan mix of the biggest tunes from across the planet. We'll be clubbing from night to midnight with King Tash, DJ Kevin, DJ Roderick, and DJ Xavier. It's Pain Frequency, hosted by Talia, live on Fame 95, Hits 92, RETV cable channel, and One Spot Media. Let's go clubbing in our VIP Zoom area and across all our social media platforms. #Pain Frequency. This Saturday, Pain Frequency goes global, and it's powered by Smirnoff Smash. How do you smash? Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during both sides of the story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
If everything in life was right, then we would never have to fight. So if we never use the brain, then only carcass would remain. If man had never used his hands, then he could never understand the joys of making this and that, like winning money from the slot. Forget about stupidity. Discover your ability, develop your creativity, cultivate humility to brave the stormy weather. Oh, my brother.
Bob Andy reminds us the more we give to life is the more we're going to get from life. So go on and give. And that's exactly what the entire team at Black River High School have been doing. They've been giving of their time, their energy, their resources in the name of preparing the next generation of citizens of Jamaica and indeed the world. The principal of Black River High School is Mr. Christopher Romans, and he has been outlining some of the, well, we were at the point before the break where he was going through a couple of the priorities and uh, uh, work done and work still being done. Did I hear you say that you added a couple of classrooms as well as far as the plant is concerned, the school plant?
Yes, we using funds that we would have earned or saved from our concessionaire and contributions from parents. We managed to construct um, well we construct two additional classroom and renovated two rooms and a small office um, to make life for both students and teachers a little bit more comfortable. So, I mean, in terms of priorities, building out the plant, ensuring that there's adequate space. And currently under construction, there are four classrooms that are sponsored by the Japanese Embassy and the Ministry of Education. Those are almost completed. So in addition to the plant itself, it is the priority is quality instruction. We want to ensure that what happens in our classroom in terms of instruction is the kind of activity that will produce outstanding results from our students, and also there's a kind of instruction that the quality of teaching that can also lift our academic staff professionally. A priority also is the kind of relationship that we enjoy in the campus, because the human resource is one of the most important aspects of in any organization. We have to build that human resource and maintain positive relationship that create the kind of ethos and environment for students to strive, because students won't function properly or won't benefit from an environment where there's high level of tension and acrimony. So we do our best to promote that. The soft skills for the students, our aim is to ensure that we provide training through leadership sessions, and we have done so in the past. The intent is to ensure that all our clubs and societies, especially the uniform groups, are expanded, that more students can benefit from the kind of soft skills and the kind of developmental programs that are needed outside the classroom. We strive for greater parental support.
Sorry. A rare break in the connection with the principal of Black River High School, uh, Christopher Romans, has been outlining the priorities of the institute of his administration and how those have been brought to bear on the institution. Black River High School celebrates 50 years, and we're delighted to be featuring the institution. We trust that the connection will return in a little while, and I think it's just about returning. Uh, right. We're standing by. All right. While that is happening, and we try to restore the connection with Black River High School, let's continue with more on your program, both sides of the story here on Powerr 106 FM. Let's just take a quick music break.
Stormy weather, and heed these foolish words I tell you. You see, the more you give to life is the more you're gonna get from life. So go on and give, don't count the cost. And the less you give to life is the less you're gonna get from life. So save all you go, and your soul might be lost, lost. You see, the more you give to life is the more.
Just learning that it was a power cut in St. Elizabeth at Black River High School, a power cut, and they're reestablishing the connection. The internet, in fact, is coming back online and is in fact back online. I see Principal Romans still in his position and ready to continue the conversation. Uh, Such is the nature of the world we live in, and as much as we think we have it really bad in Jamaica technologically, rest assured that even the most technologically driven society in the world has technical issues from time to time. Such is the nature, because there are all kinds of conditions that impact the 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 consistency of the connection. So thank you very much, Principal Romans, for rejoining us.
Yes, sir. We understand, and you can imagine the challenge that the students have at home who have to deal with this thing, and teachers too. But what I was saying in terms of some of the targets that we have set is in terms of parenting involvement. I know it persons have said that it may not be the most important thing, but we know that if we when you have greater parental involvement, you normally you have improved performances both socially and academically.
True.
And that's one area that we need to work on. I know as a school we have produced many outstanding past students, and strengthening the organizing and strengthening our alumni is something that we really need to do. I think that is a untapped support that is there. We know that the students that we get, they do come from very humble, big background and tend to need a lot of support. And in some cases, the support is financially, it is resources. But one of the greatest support is in the area of mentorship, in terms of motivating, building the confidence, showing students that yes, Black River High have produced many great and outstanding persons. So that's an area. So on the target, we have set for ourselves to strengthen the different segments of the school that we think that come a couple of years should see us as a much stronger institution.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
And I just want to say to staff, both support staff and academic staff, and to students and parents who do, to parents, that we are quite grateful for your support, and we know that as an institution we can't grow unless you are here supporting us, unless you also grow.
Well said. So as we wrap, what's the forecast? The forecast for the rest of the academic year as far as Black River High School is concerned?
Well, the forecast, I won't say cloudy, it's bright. It's rather really challenging. We have seen for our grade 11s, a reduced number of students who are sitting, but still a large number still sitting. And based on it is going to be a real challenge for us to produce the results that we produced last year. But I think my staff is rearing to go, and they're up for the challenge. And we think that we will see excellent results coming from the students who have entered for exams. Internally, I know that in terms of the other students, there is optimism that they are eager to get back to face to face. I'm not sure when that will happen, but when we had face to face, in terms of in terms of the turnout, I see the excitement, the energy of our students and teachers. So it is all positive going forward, in spite of the many challenges that exist. You know, it is a period where the word resilience has to be on your tongue. The whole matter of being creative, the whole matter of showing empathy for those around us. And with those three things, the future will be bright for us at Black River High.
We have no doubt. We continue to be impressed. I wonder if we could mute a couple of the microphones there, getting some feedback. Great, much better. But we need to take a break anyway. Thank you very much, Mr. Christopher Romans, principal of the 50-year-old Black River High School. We wish you and the entire school family all the success that life has to offer.
Thank you, sir.
It's been a pleasure. Take care.
The horse mechanics none to fix the car, no humble.
Coast to Coast Concrete, the high quality concrete for fencing, roofing, foundation, and road surfacing. Call 876-754-7472. The time by Coast to Coast Concrete is
3:15. Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during both sides of the story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
You see, the more you give to life is the more you're gonna get from life. So go on and give, don't count the cost. And the less you give to life is the less you're gonna get from life. So save all you go, and your soul might be lost. You see, the more you give to life is the more you're gonna get from life. So go on and give, don't count the cost. And the less you give to life is the less you're gonna get from life. So save all you know, and your soul might be lost.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on both sides of the story, Powerr 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we've been joining the entire Black River High School fraternity in continuing their 50th anniversary celebrations on a significant day. There's a step into the future developmental event that is program that is held and there's a culmination that takes place around this time. COVID or no COVID-19, the Black River High School Step into the Future program train rolls on, and it's still rolling. And we're anxious to hear from Mrs. Andrea Strong Moses the ways in which the COVID-19 proof ways in which Black River High School has been marking these 50 glorious years. Good afternoon to you, Mrs. Strong Moses, Vice Principal, one of the Vice Principals of Black River High School. How are you?
Good afternoon. I am fine, thank you.
Great. Good to see you and good to speak with you here on both sides of the story. When did the celebrations begin, marking the 50th anniversary of Black River High School?
Okay, so we became 50, really would have been September 2020. But when we started in September, or we didn't start in school in September, we had to curtail some of the plans that we had for that month. And so we actually started in October 2020, last school term.
And is it that you plan to go until September 2021?
Yes, until the end of this school term, really up to the end of the school term in August.
I see. How much have you been able to do so far in terms of marking this milestone?
Okay, just to mention that this year we are now 50 years old, and we have been celebrating under the theme, Celebrating the Past, Inspiring Our Future. And we have been doing quite a few things that we're able to do under the current pandemic and the protocols under which we are actually operating. So far this year, we had a tree planting ceremony in collaboration with the forestry department. We planted 53 trees, around the campus, and we engaged our stakeholder groups, all those groups that would have supported the school over the years, past principals, groups of others from the civic group. We also engaged one of our benefactors who would have also been a part of the history of donating land to the school in terms of planting and representing that aspect of our history. So we had a tree planting ceremony in October. Then we had, most recently, we had, as was mentioned by Principal Romans, we had a dedication service or ceremony that was held here on the compound with the Most Reverend Archbishop of the West Indies and Bishop of Jamaica, Bishop Howard Gregory, graced us with his presence, and he came and really dedicated our school, and more so the 2 classrooms that were mentioned that were newly opened. We also had a ribbon cutting ceremony, if you will, on that day, in opening of the new look or new gateway or new look driveway and or newly erected school sign on that day as well. We have also been working on a block drive where we intend to garner funds to renovate our school's auditorium and other entities within the school, especially now that we are operating with the online schooling, and Principal Romans would have mentioned trying to ensure that our campus or our compound is ready to support that kind of venture. So we are embarking on that, where we'll be having a block drive, or we are doing a block drive to support that venture. The program that we are having today, the culmination of the Step into the Future program, is also it's an annual program, but it's also one of our signature 50th anniversary programs this year, where we have been exposing the grade 11 students to a number of sessions and a series of training sessions to help to equip them for the next step, really. So that is another one of our signature programs for the 50th. We also have an upcoming prize giving, which, as I mentioned before, some things have been adjusted and modulated based on what can happen. Our prize giving ceremony has not yet happened. That is in the planning. And our staff awards, as was mentioned earlier, is also one of our signature programs under the 50th anniversary banner.
It sounds like you've been very busy, notwithstanding the vagaries of COVID-19 and related matters. What kind of support have you been able to garner in terms of corporate St. Elizabeth, for example, or maybe from the past students? Have you been able to attract support in terms of sponsorship to be able to carry out some of the activities that you have outlined or plan to execute?
Definitely, I think we can boast that we do have a good support system in place in terms of our stakeholders, the business community. I think that we do have the business community as a big support. Those who sponsored today's events have always been sponsoring so many other events at school here. We have gotten big support from our Minister Floyd Green. He is also one of the a big supporter of this high school and his other schools in the constituency. We have gotten support for the program generally, especially from the staff, because a lot of these activities that would have taken place were at a time when at some points we were locked down, sometimes we were online, sometimes we were, so the dynamics kept shifting, but the staff rallied and we have really been getting through the things that we have planned because of the support that we have as a staff here at Black River High School.
Oh, that's very good to know. And so now, I think I asked, I'm not sure, did I? Does the school have an active alumni association?
Yes, there is an alumni, but it is not quite where we want it to be. We have pockets or groups, in different areas that do support the school. We really have some work to do on that, and it is one of the things that we are moving towards for the rest of the school year and onward. So we do have an alumni, but as I said, because of there are small pockets or small groups operating from different, entities. So we need to get some more organization where that is concerned.
I asked the question because I'm thinking of an annual homecoming, or if not even an annual one, but now would be a good time, except for COVID-19, of course, to have your golden jubilee homecoming. And also, we're happy that you're on this platform because, as you know, we are heard all over the world. In fact, I saw a message a while ago. Let's see if I can retrieve it. Someone we know by the name of Rasmanga. He says, "Greetings, Mr. Malcolm. Big up Mrs. Davis Watson, teacher at Black River High, and Nyanza McCaw for I. Thanks." Okay. So it's from that standpoint that I'm thinking in terms of whether if there are past students listening to us and watching us on Facebook Live and the other platforms, if they have been moved to give back to their alma mater, or if there are those listening who know of past students of Black River High School in their neighborhood, wherever in the world they are, to encourage support, or what's the best mechanism or means or who would be the key person to connect with at Black River High School if past students decide to get together and make their contribution? Mrs. Strong Moses?
I lost connection there, Mr. Malcolm. I'm not quite sure. Yes.
But you're back now. Yes.
Yes, I'm back.
So I was asking how past students listening and friends of past students listening who perhaps are encouraged by some of the news we have heard so far coming out of the school and how the school has been doing, and they want to contribute. What would be the best approach? What would you suggest, especially if they feel like doing it at this time when the school celebrates its Golden Jubilee, 50th anniversary?
All right. So one way that I didn't mention that we actually also have a number of memorabilia from the school, of course, that will be on sale or that are on sale that past students and friends of the school can purchase. And that is another thing that we will be asking past students to contribute to, as well as to our block drive for refurbishing of our auditorium and for retrofitting some of our smart rooms that we're trying to create for the online learning. They can contact past students who are on and who will be listening to this program, can contact us here at Black River High School at the school's business office, or you can email us. Perhaps I should put it in the chat, or I can just mention here.
Sure.
At Black River High School, blackrivers.ja. Hold on, let me just see if I get it right.
No problem. It can be quite something remembering
Yes,
email
I
addresses.
remember mine very well. I'm trying to. So it's blackrivers.ja.org.
Yeah. blackrivers.ja.org. Yes.
That is correct.
Right. So listeners and viewers across the globe, please spread the word. You would understand, listeners and viewers across the globe, that we have long recognized the value of education, and therefore we're always happy and excited and delighted to play our part in supporting our educational institutions. And Black River High School is just one such institution doing their best and doing it well. We want to thank you very much, Mrs. Strong Moses, for your participation in this afternoon's edition of Both Sides of the Story. And we want to wish you and the team at Black River High School all the very best as you celebrate your Golden Jubilee.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Take care.
You're listening to Powerr 106 FM. The time is now
3:30. Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas on Powerr 106 FM is now 1 hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday. 1 hour of solid advice, great interaction, and a belly full of laughs. That's Dear Pastor, now 1 power-packed hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday, here on Powerr 106 FM.
You see, the more you give to life is the more you're gonna get from life. So go on and give, don't count the cost. And the less you give to life is the less you're gonna get from life. So save all you know, and your soul might be lost. You see, the more you give to life is the more you're gonna get from life. So go on and give, don't count the cost. And the less you give to life is the less you're gonna get from life. So save all your dough, and your soul might be lost. You gotta give if you got. those who have not. You gotta give if you got to those who have not asking you to stop. You gotta give, you gotta give if you got. Oh, you gotta give if you got to those who have not. If everything in life was right, then we would never have to fight. So if we never use the brain, then only carcass would remain. If man had never used his hands,
Thank you so much for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Powerr 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Apologies for the absence of this week's edition of MIIC Live, a production of the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce. In the meantime, though, we have filled the slot with one of our regular listeners and just a supporter of the work that we do from even before her days as High Commissioner, Jamaica's High Commissioner to London, and the days of the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, the board, etc., her work in tourism, etc. So what a joy. It's been a while since we have had her on, I think. Ambassador Alun Dumbe Asamba, COK consultant and brand ambassador. Hello, good afternoon. How are you? It's been a while.
Good afternoon, Dervan. Yes, it has been a while. You and I have gone through lots and lots of things together.
Yes.
And I'm very pleased to be with you this afternoon.
Delighted to have you join us here on both sides of the story. Now, tell us first of all about this new role of yours. As it's still relatively new. The announcement was made not so long ago.
I started this role in January because I retired as CEO at the end of December.
At your young age.
My retirement should have been in June, but with everything that was happening last year, the board asked me to stay on until December.
Yes.
And then they asked me if I would do this particular thing, which is to be a consultant and to be brand ambassador. So I speak on behalf of COK. I work with the management team and just generally support COK in what is being done. And I'm here today now to talk to you about COK's deferred shares.
All right. So let's back up a bit and break that down. First of all, what is a share? And then and then you tell us what is a deferred share offer.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me say that the credit union, COK, we're a cooperative, and the members' stake in the cooperative, in our case, a financial cooperative, the member's stake is called shares.
Oh.
And we have different kinds of shares. However, everybody who is a member of COK has ordinary shares. In addition to that, everybody who is a member of COK has to have permanent shares, which is part of the capital. Now, your ordinary shares is part of your savings, whereas your permanent shares is part of the capital. And then from time to time, COK has issued deferred shares, which are special shares which form a part of the capital of the credit union. This is the fourth time we are issuing deferred shares. And it's for 5 years. It really is, you don't get any extra voting rights from this because in a cooperative, one man, one vote. It doesn't matter how much you have in the credit union. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get that clear. So there are no extra voting rights attached to deferred shares like in private limited liability companies. Now, so COK is seeking to raise capital of $500 million to go to our capital. And this is going to be used to fund our loan portfolio and to fund expansion of our capital base and to aid in covering the cost of our new core banking system. You will recall, we've talked about this before, that last year we changed our core banking system. And I'm very pleased with how that went, because if we didn't talk about it, members wouldn't even know that there was a change because it was so smoothly done.
Yes.
And in fact, I am very pleased to say that we did not have to have any consultants to do this. The staff of COK and the staff of our provider of the system worked together and got this done.
Excellent.
Yes, this is something that I really want to speak about because it shows that the credit union has the
pedigree.
The pedigree, thank you, the human resources that can lead such a thing like this. And the staff did it all with Smart Universal, who provided the system to us. So we are now we've paid for it, and we're now trying to see how we can get some more capital to be able to make more loans and to expand our capital base. And you know what I want to tell you? The subscription period runs from February 1st to May 14th.
Oh.
And would you believe that we have gone more than half of it already?
That is quite something, even in a time of COVID-19.
It is, because it is very, very lucrative, if I can say that. You will have to invest a minimum of $25,000, but you can invest as much as you want. And the interest rate is 8% for the entire period of the 5 years. It's not variable, it is 8%. So it's not going to go down.
Oh. Well, that sounds very attractive. So for those listening to us at home and abroad, by the way, it's not only restricted to those in Jamaica, is it?
No, but if you are not currently a member of the credit union, you will have to join.
Okay.
And the minute you join, you are entitled to all the benefits and the programs that the credit union has. And I will indicate before this is over how, if you are abroad, you can send us an email. We will get in touch with you. However, you have to have a Jamaican address and a TRN.
Okay.
Because that is what we need for somebody to join the credit union if you are not currently a member. So your deferred shares will be redeemed May 18th, 2026.
Yes.
And as I said before, the interest rate is 8%, and we pay that monthly. But of course, we have to take out the government's 25% out of the interest rate, out of the interest payment.
Yes.
And I know that some persons have asked us, if we fall on hard times, for example, and we need to get back some of this money before the 5 years, can it be transferred to another member? And yes, it can be transferred. We will have to identify a transferee, which means we will have to identify somebody who would want to purchase whatever portion you want to sell.
Oh.
And the credit union will assist in any way that it can, because we have a number of members. Let us say you don't get in on May 14th. What has happened with all our past ones is that members have said to us, I'm interested. So as soon as you know somebody who wants to sell some of their deferred shares, contact me and I will buy it. So you can't come in and just say, I want it. We will have to find somebody who we can transfer your interest to. And so far, we have had good success at doing that with the other 3 deferred shares offerings that we had.
So for those listening to us now who would like to, I don't want to use the word cash in, but to those who want to take advantage of the COK deferred share offer, what's the best place to start? What do what do we need to do? Those of us who are excited by the terms and conditions and want to be a part of this experience.
Okay, you can visit our website, which is www.cokcu.com, and the application form is there. It can be downloaded, but you can also call our sales manager, Mr. Maurice Livingston. Many persons will remember Maurice he was the manager of Halfway Tree and he was the manager of Portmore, and now he's been promoted to sales manager. So you can call Maurice Livingston at 876-764-1469 or 876-406-5742, or our member care center, which is 876-960-4226, and we'll walk you through the process. But I'm also going to give my email address because I have been having people reaching out to me as I speak on the radio, and it is aastamba@cokcu.com. If you get in touch with me, I will put you on to who is to speak to you. But if you're on Instagram or Facebook, we have, or on Twitter, or our social media pages, you will see the advertisement for this deferred share offer number 4. And let me just again say, the interest rate is 8%, payable monthly, but we withdraw the 25%, which has to go to the government on the interest that is paid. So it is very exciting.
Yes, sounds that way.
And we have been talking about this now from the beginning of February, and as I said to you, we already have about 50% subscribed. But please call us and get in, and you will not regret it. You will not regret it, because we are paying out our deferred shares number 3 in May.
Oh, sweet.
So, I could say to the persons who have deferred shares number 3,
just roll it over, right?
Well, I don't want to use the term roll it over, because that's not what really happened.
I understand.
You pay it out into your golden egg account, and you can issue us instructions to say you would now like to buy into deferred share number 4. And
one moment, please. We need to take the break. Let's come back and wrap in a moment.
Foolish words. You see, the more you give to life.
You're listening to Powerr 106 FM. The time is now
3:45. Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during Both Sides of the Story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during Both Sides of the Story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
There be no one to groom the horse.
Ambassador Alun Dumbe Asamba is our guest at this time. She is a COK Sodality consultant and brand ambassador. She has been sharing with us the details, giving us an update on the COK deferred share offer number 4. Number 3 is going to be paid out in May of this year. And the suggestion going to the break, I was saying, well, Ambassador doesn't like the use of the term rollover, because that's not how it is done, as she said. So you say, you already have a record. You have a record to run on, as they say.
Yes,
so
we've paid out deferred shares 1 already.
Uh-huh.
We've paid out deferred shares 2 already, and we're prepared to pay out deferred shares 3 in May.
There you go.
So we have run on our record already.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just give you an example. I have deferred shares number 3. And I have already given instructions that when you pay it into my golden egg, I will now use that money and purchase deferred shares number 4.
Right.
So you
That's a
can do
smart
that.
thing. Yeah.
Or you can come in, if you have never done this, you can come in at any time. Just give us a call or send me an email. And it's easy to remember me. It's aasamba@cokcu.com. And I will then put on Mr. Livingston or our member care officers to call you. You can go online, cokcu.com, and you can download the documents because you have to sign, eh? You have to
Yes.
sign to say you want to do this. And you can also pay the money into COK through our online banking platform. And then when you have done that, notify us that you have made the transfer by sending an email to payroll@cokcu.com. I'm saying all of this, and I know that probably people won't remember all of that, but if you remember the phone numbers, or if you go on our social media pages, you will see it, or if you remember my email address, you can send it to me, and we will be right back in touch with you to take you through the process.
Sounds good. We'll be checking it out, of course. Thank you very much, Ambassador Asamba. It's been a pleasure having you on both sides of the story, Powerr 106 FM. And we are sure that pretty soon the entire the entire offer will be taken up.
Yes.
And people will see the benefit. So you can put in as little you can put in as
Yes.
little as $25,000.
But you can go up as high as you want.
As high. Oh, no upper limit. Goodness.
No upper limit. No upper limit.
Nice.
And it's 8% interest guaranteed. I don't think you can get that anywhere else at the moment.
Well, we're counting on you to keep us updated as time goes on, especially by the time you get to the point where you're fully subscribed or perhaps even oversubscribed. So let's do that follow-up. And before that, actually, we're going to have a conversation on the Jamaican diaspora live online on Saturday morning. Yes. And that I'm sure members of the diaspora would be keen. And then at that time, you can give them the details, the 411.
Yes, how they can participate. Yes.
Right.
Thank you very much, Dervan.
It's been a pleasure.
I want to congratulate you on this long-running program that you have.
Thank
and
you.
All the work that you do and the way how you reach out to the diaspora and how effective the work that you do is to those who are not just in Jamaica, but who are outside of Jamaica.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I feel
and
like
can I tell them that
yes.
I know you from your at Calabar in the shall I say that? There you go.
Yes, indeed. It's been a while, but it's always a joy to be in your company, whether online or in person.
Thank you.
All the best. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ambassador Alun Dumbe Asamba, COK consultant and brand ambassador. That is that interview we were able to do on account of the fact that MIIC Live is not on this week. Apologies for the absence of this week's edition of MIIC Live, a production of the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce. All things being well, MIIC Live should return next Thursday at 3:30. In the meantime, happy to have shared with you, our faithful listeners and viewers at home and abroad, this investment opportunity of the COK deferred shared offer with a minimum of $25,000 at an interest rate of 8%. And we're going back to Black River in St. Elizabeth right now and keeping the program rolling. So let's see. Black River High School celebrating their Golden Jubilee, 50 years of Black River High School. And now would be a good time to speak with Mrs. Williamson. Mrs. Williamson. Let's just make sure Mrs. Williamson is, yes, Mrs. Claudine Williamson is ready for us. Good afternoon, Mrs. Williamson. How are you? No, not hearing her at the moment. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's try that again. Mrs. Williamson is going to be joining us right now. Mrs. Claudine Williamson, one of the vice principals with she has responsibility for academic performance. Mrs. Williamson Daly, Mrs. Claudine Williamson Daly. Good afternoon to you, Mrs. Claudine Williamson Daly. How are you? No, Mrs. Williamson Daly. I think she's on mute. Or her microphone is muted, so she will need to unmute so we can connect. And if she's not ready for us yet, we could go to another of the Black River High School family members. Perhaps, let's see. Let's go with Mrs. Davis Watson. Mrs. Elaine Davis Watson.
Dervan, good afternoon.
Oh, who's that? That's Mitzi Davis?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes,
well, good
it is.
afternoon to you.
Good
Mitzi
afternoon,
Davis.
sir. It's Mrs. Davis Watson. Mrs. Williamson Daly is right here with me, sir. So you can talk to her and then you get right back to me.
Oh, sorry. I'm just going by what I'm seeing on the screen here. Sorry. Right. The names and where the audio is coming from. So let's go to Mrs. Claudine Williamson. There's another name I'm forgetting.
Daly.
Williamson Daly. There you go. Mrs. Claudine Williamson Daly. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. I'm well, thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us on both sides of the story here on Powerr 106 FM. Can you paint a picture of the approach that you take wearing your hat as vice principal with responsibility for academic performance? How would you describe the approach that you take in achieving your objectives?
Okay, the approach taken is a strategic one because we have to look as a team. We look at where our students are and where we need to take them. We also look at the context of what is happening during the pandemic and how psychologically they will be able to manage whatever the curriculum is.
And what's the matrix, or you know what I'm talking about, how you are able to monitor performances, to activate intervention, and then to behold the outcome?
Okay, well, we work from our school improvement plan, and our school self-evaluation would have been done. And from that, we are able to do our mapping. So at the end of each year, we will look at objectives that would have been met, and those that we did not meet, then we would go back to the drawing board to see how we can, or where we made a mistake, or what adjustments need to be made in order to achieve that particular objective.
To what extent do you have to initiate this kind of monitoring, policing, and general management of the performance numbers at the get-go, meaning once the students come in at first form? Because our understanding with so many schools across this country is that invariably you get students who are not yet ready, and you have to bring them up to speed with in terms of their level of performance. Does that apply to you as well at Black River High School?
Oh, most definitely. Well, with the ministry's plan in terms of the APS program, we also operate on that basis as well, where the students are, we don't want to say grouped, but in terms of pathways, you would have identified the pathways from their prep results, And so our apps coach and teachers would have worked along with the students, especially those in pathway 3, to get them up to pathway 1 by the time they would have reached grade 9. During the pandemic, it has been challenging, but teamwork is always the best approach to take. And so we would have trained the students and teachers to get onto their devices, get online. We do experience the challenge as well, where a number of our students are not reachable. But we have been able to do a few visits, calls, and we have motivated them. In December, we were fortunate to be a part of the face-to-face pilot. And so in January, we got our grade 7 students in, which was about 70%. And for at least 2 weeks, we were able to get to them through face-to-face, but they are now online doing their exam.
How would you describe some of the reasons for the turnarounds that you would have seen by way of the performance of these students? So you get them at a certain level and you're able to turn around their performance, to help them to improve their performance. And in instances where you're able to do that, is there a common thread that runs through each of the student experiences that you find as the main reason, or perhaps one of the reasons for the turnaround?
Okay, teacher dedication is a big factor. We have teachers who are motivated. They would stay long hours just to ensure that additional work is given, that counseling is done with the students who need help with SBAs or other areas of academic assessment. We find too that parents, there are quite a number of parents who they would visit school often or call, but they are behind their child to ensure that whatever needs to be done is done. So the
One moment, please. Tell us some more after the break. We're continuing to feature Black River High School as they celebrate their Golden Jubilee, 50 years. Their 50th anniversary celebrations continue, and we've been getting updates on developments at the school. Mrs. Claudine Williamson Daly is Vice Principal Academic Performance, and she'll tell us more after the break.
If man had never used his hands, then he could never understand.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Your taxes.
Experience the convenience of this tax season. File and pay your final income tax return for 2020 and estimated return for 2021 due on March 15 with tax support in so many ways using our web services, Customer Service Center 888 Tax Help, or Special Taxpayer Assistance Program. Tutorials available online at jamaicatax.gov.jm. All income tax returns, including individual, must be filed online with more options to pay. Tax Administration Jamaica, changing the way we do business.
Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during both sides of the story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
Should be the boss, there'd be no one to groom the horse, mechanics none to fix the car, no humble man.
Que hora es en espagnol? Son las 4:02. Quel est-il en français? Les 4:02. 现在地点了4点02分. 2 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Powerr 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website. Go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Good afternoon to Judy Brown, who's watching. Sylviana Johnson, good afternoon to Ines Campbell Brown in Bridgeport, Connecticut, says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan, Malcolm, and viewers. Please help me wish my daughter, Tanisha Leslie, a happy birthday today. 1 year she had that brain aneurysm. Just lucky to be alive today. God is good. And Angela in Toronto, Canada agrees. She says, good afternoon, Inez Campbell Brown, and wishing your daughter a very happy birthday. More strength each and every day. Ras Manga is watching in Atlanta, Georgia, and he did send shout out to Mrs. Davis Watson earlier on. Inez Campbell Brown in Bridgeport, Connecticut says, good afternoon, Miss Angela. And as we speak, she's in Jamaica for a month, and I'm hoping she'll stay home for the 14 days. Paul in Philadelphia says, good day, Dervan and all listeners. This is Paul Miles, Black River, St. Elizabeth. He says, Paul Miles Foundation saying hello to Black River High School. And there are other messages which we'll take as the program progresses. In the meantime, let's get ready to wrap our conversation with another of the vice principals at Black River High School as the school celebrates its Golden Jubilee 50th anniversary. We've been speaking with Vice Principal with responsibility for academic performance, Mrs. Claudine Williamson Daly. You were sharing with us some of the reasons for the turnaround. Of course, you spoke about teacher dedication and the involvement as well of parents in some instances.
We can't forget the Board of Management, who ensures in its oversight that we do all we can for the children.
Yeah, very good. So how are people, a lot of people are concerned, worried for the children with the COVID-19 pandemic and its attendant issues. Is there anything you have been able to do in a preemptive way to either stop the slide or reduce the chances of a slide of a student slipping back as opposed to moving forward?
Well, we have tried to get additional public from sponsors for some of our students, and we try to keep in touch with the parents through our WhatsApp group to ensure that the work is being done. For the first time, we have been uploading our exams online, which is a learning process, but it has gone very well so far. And the students who are not well, who have comorbidities, they are permitted to stay at home and join us.
Sorry, if someone online could mute a microphone there. We're getting some feedback in the background. But go ahead, please.
In terms of the protocols, we have done a pretty fair amount of work to ensure that when they come, they are safe. We have been doing our checks at the gate. We have a number of recommendations to the board and administration for ensuring that all of these are in place so that the parents and the students can be comfortable when they come.
No. All right, let's see if we can. Well, thank you very much. I think we're going to leave it there for now while we see to the muting of a microphone or two in the background. Not sure what is feeding back into the system right now, but the team on the ground is very efficient, I'm sure, at Black River High School, and they're going to sort that out in a moment. In the meantime, we'd like to say a big thank you to Vice Principal with responsibility for academic performance, Mrs. Claudine Williamson Daly, for the tremendous work that you and your team have been doing. And we wish you and your students all the success that life has to offer.
Thank you so much, Mr. Malcolm, and hello to Rasmanga and the team in Atlanta and all our class students who are out there. We are glad that you have been supporting us over the years, and we continue to look forward for your support as we continue to build Team Black River better and
Great. Thank you very much. All the best. Let's go straight into the next interview. And that is going to be a lady who has been, well, she's always busy, but even busier on a day like today, because this is up her street. She is in charge of the work experience program at Black River High School, among other things. Hello, good afternoon, Mrs. Elaine Davis Watson. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you, Dervan. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. Thank you so much for joining us here on both sides of the story, Powerr 106 FM. We're accustomed to being with you and the Black River High School family in Black River, St. Elizabeth. But so it is, COVID-19 keeping us apart for the time being. But we are managing to stay connected, and we're happy for that. So let's get straight to it. The work program that you have at Black River High School. Give us an idea of how that has been working, because the program has been in place for some time, hasn't it?
Yes, Dervan, most definitely. The work experience program has been in Black River High School for all the years that I've been at Black River High School, which is over 20 years. I've come to know it here. And since I get the position of being the work experience coordinator, I have taken up a task introducing the program Step into the Future, which is our culminating activity today.
All right, hold on. Before you go on, for those unfamiliar with your Step into the Future program, can you explain what it is, how it works, and who benefits from it?
All right. The Step into the Future program is designed exclusively for our grade 11 students to develop the soft and social skills among them. And we seek to fulfill some objectives, example like positive work attitude, managing time, understanding what is expected of them to work when they get there, and to develop for themselves.
Sorry, we're getting a bit of interference again. Not sure if there's another device close to the device you're on. That tends to happen. But let's try again. Sorry.
Okay. As well as dress and deportment. So these objectives, we seek to meet them in order for our grade 11 students to transition from school into the world of work. Apart from giving them the academics, we ensure that they are well-rounded to face the challenges that they will face here in the work world.
Is it a one-off program in terms of when it is conducted, or is it done in phases and stages?
Not at all. It's not a one-off program. This program lasts for about 3 months. We started each year in January, where we have a series of seminars, and we would invite persons from corporate Jamaica to come in and speak to our students to gear them towards this program and to finish.
Sorry. No, to what extent have you been able to measure the impact of the Step into the Future program since its inception at Black River High School?
I've seen where students would come back and say to me, Miss, we are very appreciative of this program because we did not know certain things, and from this program we have learned, and we think that will be greatly benefited from it. So students are being benefited, and it is well appreciated.
And what about the support from the business people in facilitating the work experience program at Black River High School?
Oh, we have gotten tremendous support from the business persons here. At no time they ever choose to refuse our students. What we do at Black River High School, we ensure that our students are well equipped before we place them on work experience. So when we put them out there into the workplaces, they can perform at a particular standard. Workplaces are well pleased. Each year we have no difficulty in placing our students.
Yeah, that is good to know.
Unfortunately for this year, because of the pandemic, we did not have our work experience program.
So how do you plan going forward, considering that, yes, vaccines are out, but it's going to take some time to bring COVID-19 to a manageable level at least? Is it that you're going to have to get used to the virtual, or is there some hope that within the next few months, maybe within the next year, hopefully not as many as the next 2 years, before we could once again have the kind of face-to-face engagements in programs such as the one of which you speak?
We are hoping, Dervan, that the pandemic will soon be of the past. But if it lingers with us for a while, we definitely have to follow the health protocols that are laid out. And our students do need that work experience. So I'm hoping that it will be of such that the vaccines will be here soon. So it will be so much safer.
All right, hold it there. We're getting that feedback again. Let's defer to you and the team at Black River High School during this break to sharpen the connection for us. One moment, please, listeners. If you're just tuning in, we've been speaking with Mrs. Elaine Davis Watson. She is in charge of the work experience program at Black River High School. And one of the outgrowths of the program is, of course, the Step into the Future program, which culminated today. One moment, please.
You're listening to Powerr 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
The February 5 off 50 sales event at Home and Things is here. Take $5 off every $50 you spend. Save big on the brands you know and trust. From beautiful Spanish and Brazilian tiles to exquisite bathroom fixtures from Sedosa, American Standard and Corona. Stylish Moen and American Standard faucets. Doors, windows, paints, and home decor treasures that inspires beauty and elegance. It's the February 5 off 50 sales event happening now at Home and Things. Old Hope Road and Constant Spring Road. Catch it while it lasts.
Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during both sides of the story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
Give to life is the more you're gonna get from life. So go on and give. Don't count the cost. And the less you give to life is the less you're gonna get from life. So save all you do, and your soul might be lost. If every man should be the boss, there'd be no one to groom the horse, mechanics none to fix the car, no humble man to spread the tar. If every man should be on top, now tell me what the hell could stop top heavy from a fatal drop. Extinct would be the model crop. It's time we learn to be satisfied. Curtail resources running wide. Too much have you, get rid of some. There are too many who have none. Oh.
Que hora es en español? Son las 4:18. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:18. 现在几点了？4点18分。18 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable, education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Well, have all the students at school left by now, Mrs. Elaine Davis Watson? No, I'm just asking out of curiosity if there are still students at the school right now in terms of classes.
Just the two for the interview, Dervan.
Okay, just checking.
Right.
Right. So give us a summary, please, of this latest installment of the Step into the Future program, and feel free to pay tribute to sponsors and participants in today's culmination.
Okay, for this year's Step into the Future, we have not gone the all out like we normally do. So we modified it to suit the COVID pandemic
conditions.
Right. So, but let me talk about the sessions that we have been having since January. We did managing your mind, that is teaching our students how to cope in these times. We did COVID protocols in the workplace for them to have an understanding if COVID is here to stay. This is what they need to do. We did dining etiquette. We also did online interviews because most of the interviews these days that will be conducted will be definitely online. We also teach them dress and deportment. That is in the sessions that we've had previous to today. For today's session, we have presenters like you, Mr. Malcolm, who spoke to them on managing your digital footprints. And we have other speakers who came in and spoke on caring for your technological devices, having the right work attitude. We have a representative from Hartrust who spoke on the options that they have in the technical vocational areas, as well as innovation and creation, because in these times, we have to get real innovative and creative in order to live. Right?
That's right.
That's what this year program has been all about. I want to thank all the persons who make this a reality. The staff at Black River High School, our principal, vice principals, and the grade 11 coordinator, Ms. Mapag and Mr. Ramsamuj, who play integral role in making this possible, because they are the ones who would round up our grade 11 students and pass information onto them, read the program, as well as our sponsors within Black River area. We have Hodges Aggregates and Powders, we have the National Commercial Bank, we have Sagicor Bank, we have Juicy Patties, we have Carly's Pharmacy, St. Bet's Pharmacy, South Coast Safari Limited, Express Mirrors and Glass, South Sea Pharmacy all the way in Westmoreland. We have A to Z Books and Tiny Cuts, and of course, Councillor Dwight Summon, who make this event a reality for us today. Want to thank you all, and we look forward for the continued support that you've been giving to the Black River High School family. Thank you to Mr. Malcolm for having us.
It's been a pleasure.
today.
And congratulations to you and your organizing team for continuing to do a remarkable job. Well done.
Thank you so very much, sir.
Great.
Thank you.
That's Mrs. Elaine Davis Watson. She is the work experience coordinator at Black River High School, which celebrates 50 years this year. This is their Golden Jubilee. And we are going to learn some more about Black River High School by speaking with Mrs. Nicola Senior Ebanks. And she has responsibility for clubs and societies. Hello, Mrs. Senior Ebanks. How are you?
I'm fine, Mr. Malcolm. How are you?
I am fine, thanks. Good to see you online. Good to talk with you.
Yes,
and we are anxious to find out how, in a time of COVID-19, and not just how, but whether in this time of COVID-19, the extent to which you've been able to have activities for your clubs and societies, which also in and of themselves help to nurture some of those soft skills of your students.
Well, sir, we at Black River High School, we are very innovative in getting to our students. Now, clubs and societies is an integral part of our school life. So in the pandemic, how we have done it here at Black River High School is that we have had virtual meetings, because we have over 14 clubs here. And what we have done is that we have had synchronous activity for the clubs per term, and it was done termly. For the first term, we had a heritage challenge that was sent out to all clubs. And what they did is that they had their virtual meeting, and students could do their part and show how they could represent Jamaica's heritage, whether it be 4-H, whether it was History Club, whether it was the Performing Arts Society, among others.
Mm-hmm. And what's the level of interest like for the students normally under normal circumstances without COVID-19? What would that general interest be like on the part of the students in terms of their involvement in clubs and societies at Black River High School? And when you tell us that, contrast that experience with the situation as it is now in terms of the level of interest, considering that most of the engagements and interactions are online.
With face-to-face, that is the ideal. And as I said before, because it face-to-face is the ideal and the interest would have been there, students would go to their clubs. But for each club, we have club leaders. And so we have teachers managing the group, and they along with myself and the school generates this interest, because we have student groups and we have year coordinators that assist with this process to get the students involved. What we have done is that since this academic year, the challenge that we had is that we had a virtual challenge where students could do their video presentations, right, of this challenge, and we would post it to generate interest in clubs and societies. So if you visit our Facebook page, you can see our Spanish club is there with that challenge done. You can see our history club being there. We also have cadets. They came in and they did their part. And right now we have an inter-debate competition that will be going on among the year groups.
All right. So you're still making it happen at Black River High School, COVID-19 or no COVID-19.
Mr. Malcolm, you know, that is a part of education. We have to meet the children where they are, and as educators, we have to find a way to garner their interest as best as possible. We are not in ideal times, so we have to be creative. And that is our role as educators.
Well done. Well said. Well done to you and the team at Black River High School. We wish you all the very best, and we hope for better days when we can go back to engaging in face-to-face sessions. But thank you very much for your creativity in keeping the clubs and societies going.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes.
Take care.
Yes, you too.
That's Mrs. Nicola Senior Banks, who has responsibility for clubs and societies at Black River High School. They're celebrating their golden jubilee, 50 years of Black River High School, 50 years of service to education in Jamaica, and I dare say the world, because after all, so many of their students are all over the world. Let's see if we can get in a word or two or more from the grade 11 coordinator at Black River High School. Miss McCog, good afternoon to you. How are you?
Good afternoon, Dervan. I am doing great. How
Wonderful.
are you?
I am fine, thanks. Remind me of your first name, please.
My first name is Nervina.
Nervina.
Yes.
Right. And of course, the students know that they're not allowed to call you by that name.
Oh, they try.
They have to say.
They try.
All right. Let's talk about grade 11. How is the cohort? How are they mentally? When you look at them physically, how are they looking? And give us an idea of how, as a school family, you continue to support this grade 11 cohort. So let's start with, what's your impression of how they are doing mentally, physically, emotionally? Answer those questions after the break, please. I'll give you time to reply after the break.
You're listening to Powerr 106 FM. The time is now
4:30. The RJR Gleaner Communications Group Special Women's Day book celebrating 60 distinguished Jamaican women. Available now. Purchase your copy today at the Gleaner Library, 7 North Street in Kingston, the Gleaner Western Bureau, 23 Orange Street, Montego Bay, and the RJR Gleaner Gift Shop at 32 Lyndhurst Road. And with every purchase of 3 or more copies at the Gleaner Library, you have a chance to win 6-month subscription to the Gleaner Premium. Jamaican women of distinction, holding up more than half the sky.
Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas on Powerr 106 FM is now 1 hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday. 1 hour of solid advice, great interaction, and a belly full of laughs. That's Dear Pastor, now 1 power-packed hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday, here on Powerr 106 FM.
If everything in life was right, then we would never have to fight. So if we never use the brain.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:09. 现在几点了？5点29分. 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on this special edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, Powerr 106 FM. We've been spending some quality time with the family of the celebrants, the Golden Jubilee celebrations continue. Black River High School celebrating 50 years of service to Jamaica and indeed the world in the field of education. And going to the break, we did, I almost said, put question, that Jamaican expression, put question to no. Let's do it the right way. We did pose a couple of questions to Ms. McCog, Ms. Nervina McCog, who has responsibility for grade 11. She's the grade 11 coordinator. So here's your opportunity to respond to the question in terms of how your grade 11 cohort has been coping.
Well, there's one of the plus is that I am not the only coordinator. There are actually 2 grade 11 coordinators. I want to correct that. Myself and Mr. Ransamuj. And I think we form a team. So big up Mr. Ransamuj, wherever you are, Mr. Ransamuj, big up to you. As it relates to our grade 11 students, it has been a challenge. I would have been echoing the sentiments of the other persons who have been on in terms of how we have been coping with the students as it relates to the pandemic. Thank God, physically, they are okay. We would have had a couple of face-to-face classes because we have them preparing them for examination. So, based on the guidelines of the Ministry of Education, they are one of the groups that we have at school, and they have been doing well physically. We have had students who have been hit by COVID in terms of their testing. Thank God for that. As it relates to their mental state, it's a day-to-day exercise. Because what we have to do almost on a daily basis is try to interact with them, speak to them on a one-on-one basis. How are you doing? What's happening? For the most part, we would have had them in WhatsApp groups and so on. And so we are getting their interactions, their where they are in terms of their headspaces and how it is that COVID is affecting them. We have an awesome lot of form teachers. Those are the group of persons who I directly supervise along with Mr. Ransamoon. And I must say we have an awesome team of grade 11 teachers there, and they go beyond the call of duty. And I just want to say big up to the form teachers. You have been doing an awesome job. And so as it relates to the mental state of our students, I think we can maybe credit the fact that they seem okay to the work of the form teachers along with the coordinators, along with the other support groups in the school. So I think overall, I think we would have been maybe better, one of the better schools in terms of our coping mechanism. I don't want to take away anything from the other schools, but I think we have been doing great at that River High. And it is mainly due to the level of teamwork that we have here.
Can you give us a sense of the comparison between the previous grade 11 cohort and the current cohort? Because the previous cohort would have been impacted by COVID-19 as well, correct?
Yes, they would have been impacted by COVID-19. I think I would say that both groups would have basically been performing on par in terms of their output, in terms of the reaction to COVID. So I think generally when I compare the groups, I don't see any great disparity between how the students who we had last year treated with COVID as against the way these are treating with COVID. I would say that they are on par.
Any significant signs or any signs of significant regression of students who perhaps were doing very well before COVID, post-COVID, the opposite happening? Or is it that you've been proactive enough to to stave off any such slide?
Well, I'm happy to say, Dervan, that we have not noticed any significant regression. We're still a couple of months away from preparing these students for the CXC exam. And I must say that I don't see that we have had any significant regression. And we are not going to become complacent. We will continue to do the work that we have been doing so that they are prepared. There are still students who have major connectivity issue. They cannot get onto classes because they have no devices, or they cannot get on because they don't have any internet connection. And so we try to reach the students where they are. And so we continue to prepare materials for them that are picked up at the school, and the work is done in the same way that the students are online. And so I must say that I'm happy to report that so far we have been holding our own.
That's very impressive. Very good work. I love your energy, Ms. McCog. Keep it up. All the best to you and Mr. Ramsarouge and the other members of the team.
Yes, thank you very much, Dervan, for having me, and all the very best.
Thank you very much. One of the grade 11 coordinators at Black River High School, Ms. Nervina McCog, sharing the experiences, the collective experiences of the 50-year-old Black River High School family. So now, Mr. Gordon Hodds, is it? Is Mr. Hodds nearby?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hodds.
Well, it's Gordon. I think that should be HOD.
Gordon Hodd.
HOD.
Yes, yes. So your name is Gordon Hodd.
No, Gordon, but the Hodd that is there is referring to HOD, meaning head of department.
I beg your pardon. I beg.
I think it's the way in which it is written.
I know. I was about to ask you the origin of your name. Well, what's your first name, Mr. Gordon?
Rohan.
Rohan, Mr. Rohan Gordon, who is head of department. Which department is that, Mr. Gordon?
I am the head of the Business and Information Technology Department.
And how commonly pursued are those areas at Black River High School?
Well, as it relates to information technology, we offer that subject to all students from grade 8 to grade 11. So that is almost compulsory.
Yeah, understood. But
Right.
how are they? How are the students? Are they taking to it like fish to water, so to speak?
Our department prides itself in a situation where it is one of the areas where students tend to, move towards. Whether the business area or the information technology area. We do not have to do any form of promotion to get students to participate in our subjects. We are usually oversubscribed.
And what of the performances, the results of those who sit exams?
I must tell you also that the other departments are playing catch up as it relates. Because just last year as well, last academic year, we were selected as the Department of the Year. So that should tell you the type of performance that we have in our department.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And clearly, you're doing something right. And you know what they say? The Americans say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, all right. So that would include the grade 11 students as well?
Yes, very much so.
So they would be studying what? Principle. In my day, it was
Principles of
principles of
business,
business.
principles of accounts, economics, the information technology, electronic document preparation and management, and office administration. Those are
Okay.
the main subjects.
Sounds familiar because I'm remembering the subjects I did. Let's see. Principles of business, principles of accounts, office procedures, it was called back then.
Right. It is no office administration.
And we did typing as opposed to.
That is no electronic document preparation management. Yes, and we do CAPE subjects as well.
Yes.
All right, so we offer quite a few subjects at the CAPE level. Economics, accounts again, tourism management, and entrepreneurship, management of business. And of course, those are the subjects that the students tend to gravitate towards. And we have been doing very well in those areas.
Well, clearly you have. Now you're also a past student of Black River High School. What you didn't have enough of Black River High School, so you had to go back.
It doesn't seem so.
What has that experience been like?
Well, it was a great experience. Which one though, as a student or coming back as a teacher?
Well, both. In terms of your experience as a student and now coming back, returning to Black River High School as a teacher, as opposed to one of those students who would have been there for years.
Right. It was a tremendous experience as a student. Starting out, we were a bit timid or nervous because the school was newly upgraded. I was the second batch of common entrance students when the school was upgraded in 88. So I was the second batch in 89. All right, so we were nervous. We did not know what to expect. And also because the school is a shift school, you know, people were always of the view that nothing much happens at a shift school. May I return?
Let's talk some more after the break. Okay. After the break, we will wrap and bring in a couple of the current students, Shaniel Ricketts and Chevis Wright. Listeners, we have been speaking with Mr. Rohan Gordon. He's head of department for business, the business subjects. Let's come back to Mr. Gordon in just a moment.
You're listening to Powerr 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during both sides of the story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
And the less you give to life is the less you're gonna get from life. So save all your dough and your soul might be lost. You gotta give.
¿Qué hora es en espagnol? Son las 5 menos 14. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 14. 现在地点了5点加14分. 14 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Powerr 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? We can tell you, it has been a very, very productive day at Black River High School and in cyberspace occupied by Black River High School as they continue their 50th anniversary celebrations, their Golden Jubilee. And we've been learning so much more about how they've been doing at Black River High School. So we're going to wrap before we bring in the students, the current students. We've been speaking with a former student who is now a teacher, head of the business department at at Black River High School. He is Rohan Gordon, and clearly he has had, based on what he has told us so far, a hugely successful time as far as teaching the business students is concerned. So that's great news. Good afternoon to Sylvia Brown. She says, "Congratulations, Black River High School." She's on uh, on Facebook Live. Great, thank you very much. Right, in the interest of time, let's get back to Mr. Gordon to wrap up. You said you were in the third batch.
Second.
Second.
Students.
Yeah.
Right. So it was we enjoyed ourselves despite the challenges, and of course we worked very hard to make the results of the school excellent in those years when we graduated. When I returned to teach at Black River High, I was welcomed with open arms because I wasn't even interviewed. I was just offered a post. And of course, I would be working with many of the teachers that taught me. And you know, sometimes you would feel a bit timid around them. But trust me, it was a great experience. Some of them are still here, and we work together as a wonderful team.
Excellent. Well done. Well done. Want to thank you so much for sharing with us this afternoon on both sides of the story. We wish you continued success in those business subjects. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Dervan. Thank you for having me. All the best.
It's been a pleasure. All the best to you too. Take care. Let's get in the students now, the current students who are going to join us. Shaniel Ricketts and Chavis Wright. Shaniel and Chavis. Let me see if I can tell who is who now. Looking at the video. I'm going to say Shaniel is on my left and Chavis is on my right. Say that again. Let me see if I got it right. Shaniel on my right. Okay, I got it wrong. Shaniel is on my right and Chavis is on my left. Good afternoon to you, young ladies. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. We're okay.
Great. So let's start with you, Chavis. What has your Black River High School experience been like so far?
It has been a wonderful experience. I believe Black River High has a demeanor in which other schools should emulate.
And what about you, Shaniel?
My experience at Black River High has been great because when I came here, most of what I've known now, I did not know any at all. So my experience has been great.
No question about that. What are your aspirations, Chavis? Have you decided at this stage of your life exactly what you want to do, and how have you been preparing yourself for that path you hope to travel on in terms of your career?
I would like to become a nephrologist. I am currently doing the sciences. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to do my best. I'm putting in the work. And I know I will see the results that I want.
Yes, indeed. Did you say nephrologist?
Yes, sir.
Why? That's one of the areas I don't often hear students say they want to become a nephrologist. Now, let's tell our listeners, nephrology has to do with the kidneys, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Any particular reason why you are looking to pursue a career in nephrology?
I had a brother with kidney failure, so I want to research, do all the research and understand everything that he was going through so I can help others to the best of my ability with the same disease in our area.
Oh, that's quite magnanimous of you. Well done, Shavis. We really trust and hope and pray, and no doubt you and the teachers at Black River High School will continue to work to ensure that you achieve your goal. Uh, Shanil, can you tell us now about your career goal?
Sir, I want to be a soldier, a surgeon, or a forensic scientist.
Hold on, slow that down. I'm writing soldier, surgeon,
Or forensic scientist.
or forensic scientist. In that order, you possibly could do all three. You could perhaps serve. Do you have a? But you obviously haven't decided on any in particular. Anyone?
Sir, I'll choose in the order as they appear. I'll go from there.
So are we to take it that once you're finished at Black River High School, you're going to sign up for the JDF?
Yes, sir.
And then you're going to apply to study medicine. And then you move to forensic science. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And we certainly wish you well. Well, how have you both been coping since the onset of COVID-19? First of all, Shavis, can you share your experience with us?
Well, this current situation, the pandemic, is something that we have never experienced before. We have never imagined it in our worst nightmare. But in everything there's a lesson, there's something to learn. I personally, I'm a very optimistic person. So regardless of the situation, I try to be as positive as I can. I try to socialize virtually. I try to exercise to get my mental health in the right place because it really is a tough time.
Great. Well said. Well done. More power to you. What about you, Shanil Ricketts? Any familiar experiences, having heard Shavis sharing her experience in this COVID-19 pandemic? Any similarities?
Well, I think that we are the first set of students to do schoolwork online. And it is not really easy, especially with the internet access and all of that. Sometimes I just sit down and wonder why this pandemic have become and all of that.
Yes. Yeah, I can well understand the emotion, the raw emotion that came out just now. It's like, why doesn't this thing just go away? I get it. I feel like that sometimes. But of course, we just have to do our best to cope because this too shall pass, and we have no doubt that it will pass, and you will both pass your exams and go on to do well. We're very, very impressed with the work that you have done. But as we wrap, we want to give you both an opportunity, whether you want to convey gratitude to any particular individual or individuals, or whether you want to say hi. I know how it is. You're young people, so you maybe want to give a shout out here and there. So maybe you want to go first, Shavis?
Yes, sir. I know my mother is listening, so hello, mommy. I love you. Thank you for being the mom that you are. And to all of Jamaica, just stay safe, protect yourself, and continue to be positive.
Very good. Shanil, your turn.
Sir, I'm not sure if my mother is listening because she's mostly busy working. But I would just like to say, hey, mommy, if you're listening, I love you. And I would like to thank my beautiful best friend for sitting beside me and standing by me throughout everything that we've been through together. And I just
tell you and everyone else to just continue staying safe and stay positive.
Thank you very much. And I'm happy to see the bond between you two. Most friendships, lifetime friendships, have been started in high school. And you grow together and you raise your own families together, and it becomes one big network with others being a part of the experience. And that network could very well become your net worth, in a manner of speaking. Thank you both very much. Well done, Shavis and Shanil. And we wish you all the success that life has to offer. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us and all the best.
All the best to you too. Thank you both. Shanil Ricketts and Shavis Wright, students at Black River High School, as they celebrate 50 years. It's a golden jubilee for Black River High School. Thank you so much to the entire Black River High School family, from the board all the way across to the administrative staff, the auxiliary staff, the academic staff, the past students, everybody, the parents, guardians, all those who have anything to do with Black River High School. Happy 50th anniversary. And thanks, special thanks to Mrs. Elaine Davis Watson. Thanks to Adrian Reed for doing technical and production duties behind the scenes. Thanks to the Black River High School family. Thanks to you, our faithful listeners and viewers at home and abroad, for making it both sides of the story. A special edition featuring Black River High School as they celebrate 50 years, a golden jubilee. All things being well, both sides of the story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
See, the more you give to life is the more you're gonna get from life. So go on and give, don't count the cost. And the less you give to life is the less you're gonna get from life. So save all your dough and your soul might be lost. You gotta give if you got to those who have not. You gotta give if you got to those who have not. Not asking you to stop. You gotta give, you gotta give if you got. Oh, you gotta give if you got to those.
You're listening to Powerr 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's news at 5.